Okay, guys, just started the recording. So basically, the intention of this meeting is to do some, let's say, to find instances based on the cells, regions, and so on. So the way we can do it is there's two ways. Well, in fact, there's several ways we can actually do this. We have Vistamart, the Vistamart console, which we can do validations on. We can also use the Vistamart inventory manager, and there's also Portal. For this particular session, what we'll do is we'll take you through the Vistamart filtering, and we can then enhance this to the inventory manager or Vista Portal if needed. Okay, so at the moment, the way we're actually searching for our instances is we actually just type in the instance name into the search criteria. But there are other options where we can actually search for the parent tags. We can actually search using I think properties as well is available. Okay, so we've got basically the parent tag, the platform. We've got a few properties as we can see mentioned here. Okay, if we put into a GeoCell property, GeoCell. Hold on, let me actually find one of the property names. Okay, it's InfoVista. Right, so we can actually do a search via one of these properties to equal to something more specific. So if I want to search for a city, or let's actually go for a region, and then we can say something like Guria, because we've something we've been working on recently.
Rahim, please correct me if I'm wrong. According to this description on knowledge transfer, we are speaking about filtering capabilities. For us, filtering capabilities means that how we can filter out something from the page displays, from the grouping at all, etc. So should we speak about that topic now? Or?
Okay, so this is just let's say just a view of how we can actually be more selective on our instances first. If you want to actually filter, we can also do. I think we can do a not equals here as well. No, I can't do a not equals. Okay, this generally we would do then in the actual inventory console. So when we can do the searches, we can actually search for instances where where the name is alike or contains. We also have the option of having the where is it? Like a string property. We have the option of having a not equals, contains, greater than or smaller than. So using these options, we can then say, look, okay, we want all the instances available for a specific vista where. Let's go for common, because common we've got. Okay, so if we do a not equals to, where's common? It's the location, what's the recursive, and then we can do something like a node B is not a node B, a e node B. Okay, so okay, so here if we do a something T, B, R, and C. So now if we display this, none of the instances involved here will contain will contain the instances of TBR and T, for example. So we can actually filter out anything, all the instances, and none of these instances should belong to TBR and T now. Okay, so this is one way where we can actually limit the number of instances that we want to show. There's also there's a variety of options that you've actually got here. So we can actually do it via the owner, the kind, the latest available, the latest update, so on and so on. This basically here is actually a good one. Is if we have any errors on the synchronization or there's any issues, we can actually identify them directly from here. Here it's not a problem because in fact this is valid for only Ivy server. But if we do a state to deleted, for example, we can then see which instances have been deleted. We can search by capabilities that are equal, and so on and so on. But this is where the major search criteria are used. So if you play around with these options here, there's lots of things that we can find or not find. So if we do a search here, all the instances will come up that are not equal to 2G cell. Okay. This is the way generally it's done via the Vistamart console. So if you know what you're looking for, it's easier to categorize. The reason why I mentioned Vista Portal before is because personally I find that searches with inventory searches or filtering, it's actually much easier probably to do it on the Vista Portal inventory manager than it is to then with the Vistamart if you've got a big number of instances that you want to find. Now, when we actually do it on the Vista Portal, if you open like a report designer, okay, we can actually put criteria into the instance field where we can then define the properties, the vistas, and so on. So when we actually search here, we can search for specifically 2G, okay, and then we can add on another criteria where the properties, sorry, let's go to common. It's common vendor like Huawei, and then if we add on one of the 2G indicators, there always has to be an indicator or property for the instances to actually be displayed. So if we go to the InfoVista common recursive, sorry, this tab's in the way. Let's see this. Drop down list is not coming in. Oh, there it is. BPI. Okay, so if we add in something like this, then all the instances will then apply. Now, this at the moment it's not great because we're seeing too many values. So by using this as a search criteria, we can also use the greater than and smaller than. Sorry. So now we can actually see the values that have actually been in excess of 0. So by doing this, we've now limited the number of instances where we've got a block rate of higher than 0. The vendor is equal to Huawei, and the Vista is 2G cell. So by using the report designer, we can actually use also the Vista portal in inventory pages once we build them. And there's also, as I said, we can use the Vistamart, and the Vistamart console there's a flexibility of doing different things on different applications. So this is one for me. I prefer using the actual report designer because I find it's much more, let's say, user friendly on the eye as well. So we can actually then limit what we can see. What else do we need to check on here? So here, as I said, so we've actually filtered by instances. A capability is a property. So here we've got cell, region, city, or performance. So if we do something like change this to
Rahim, maybe in order to be more effective, we can go through examples.
Sure.
Real examples.
Okay.
For example, if we have a report based on cells, all cells, 3G, 2G, etc., and in the display we are just choosing in the object navigator RNC or BSC, and then want to see particular table. But if we want to see list of cells, and in some cases filter out from that list some cells which we don't want to see. How can we do it via displays maybe?
Okay, so if you want to filter what you don't want to see, it works in the same criteria as
not here, not in the report designer. I want to have everything in report template, but when I go to the display and I'm analyzing something, I want to filter out some cells directly in the display.
Okay, let's do that. Right, so we'll go to one of the pre-built pages. We want, should we use your report? Okay, we can use the Six Sigma one as an example. Okay, so if we open up one of your reports here, let's say we've drilled down from who's got the highest number of cells? What's number of cells? Number of this guy. Let's use Tbilisi. Okay, so for example, from here, we let's say we don't want to see the one dynamo cells or DINA cells. Okay, so by selecting it first, it's going to actually add them in. Hold on. Right, and then to remove them, it's that way. I can't remember if I've got it the right way. So the other way. So refresh database. Oh. Come on.
Maybe we should add this from the both sides.
From the, sorry?
Greater or less.
No, that doesn't work. We should have actually tested this yesterday. Right, okay, I'm not sure. Okay, I have to check it on the portal, but when we do it on the Vistamart anyways, if we can do a name, there is no not like, in fact, they're all contains and likes. There's no actual removal, because the removal only comes on the report designer itself. It's not actually on the, because we can actually build it, we can actually build them from here to say, where's plus criteria, we got instance, Vista, let's add that, equals 2G. In fact, we've already got 2G cell there. Get rid of that one. Right, and then we've got a so if we do 2. Yeah, rest it. So 2G cell, not like this one. Oh, I've got the greater than 0 on this stuff.
So the main idea why I asked you to do it in the displet, if we have configured this grouping on the fly for particular report template, and for sometimes we want to filter out something from that group on the fly.
Okay.
Yes. As I remember, we can do it via displet. Directly the displet.
We can filter what we want to see, but to remove stuff is not how it's basically here if I've got no filter, everything will come in. And then if I select, as I say, if I select I'm not sure if I can do it like.
Can you open these settings of the displet?
Of which hold on.
Of this displet.
What do you mean open the settings? What settings?
To configure this displet.
Oh, so in the
can you go to the page?
On the
go. Not designer, not displet.
Yeah.
This one. This configuration. No, configure.
Yeah, we can set the filters on this side, but the problem is the end users don't have they do have the modify permissions, but then if they actually save this, they'll overwrite the page and they'll have a specified page that's let's say that will break the connection between the admin page, the page that you've created, and then the page that they've actually modified. So you can actually do it here. So I can do instance add. And then I can do a not like one star DINAM star. So if I save this,
Just refresh.
Sorry, hold on.
Yeah, just refresh.
Criteria not like being. Okay. So yeah, so fine. This will actually remove those instances. Let's go to 2G directly. Where's 2G? We can actually see the cell itself. Is Dynamo Ericsson or
Ericsson?
It is Ericsson. Okay.
Ericsson. I don't remember if it is BSC7 or BSC4.
Let's try BSC4 first. Okay, well, either way, I mean, that instance name is not going to appear whichever one we select now anyway, so check it out here. Where's hold on, check what the property.
It will appear here, but
Yeah, I have to remember, where is it? Where is it?
you can search in the list below the views
Yeah, but
in the
there's
object navigator.
so many to look at, so it's easier to find it. For me, it's easier to find it on here anyway. But yeah, you can find it on here.
Search BTSs. By the way, I don't know why it doesn't work for 2G cells. This list.
Okay, so that's a mapping problem. Okay,
BTS, you can search BTS.
Okay, so Dynamo or that Dyna one.
Here, but BSC7. Try BSC7.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, so no data available because of the filter. Okay, if we go to any of the other ones, then it's fine because this is DINA, not DINAM. So this one is now appearing. This guy will become no data because of the filter that we've got on the page. Okay, this is the only bit that I have to say you have to be careful of, is if an end user is doing this and they actually save their page afterwards, it breaks the link between the admin page and the user. So when they do such a filter, they must make sure not to save the page at the end. Okay, because if I log in as an end user, in fact, I'll show you the example now. Let's reset the filter. Criteria. Let's get rid of that. Let's save that. And if we go to this guy again, now we have the instances available again. So if I log out from,
So if I will say this save this page with that filters, yes, end user also will not be able to see that cells. Yes.
if you're logged in as the admin and you apply that filter and save the page, this is a permanent change. This impacts everybody. Okay. If hold on.
But user will have possibility to remove that filter temporarily.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So if I log in as RDA now, RDA. Let's go to. I don't know if I've got access to your page. It doesn't matter anyway. We'll just go to any random page. Okay. No, it's not a great one. Okay, here. This is a better page to pick. Let's go down. Okay, so if we look at this page, for example, if I now modify this page, you see, by editing this page, you break the inheritance, subsequent changes on the page. So this is why I'm saying is you've got to be careful of who you let do this, because if you break the link, what's actually going to happen now, if I proceed to do this, right? Now, if I go back to the admin console, well, let's just do a criteria, for example, instance like TBRNC. Let's see this one. Okay, I've done a like here, so now I can only see TBRNC. If I do it the other way around, not like, save that. Right, so now I've got the Evo site and the TBRNC2, but TBRNC is no longer available. Okay, so now if I save my page, if I log out and log back in as admin, for this page, I've now broken the inheritance to the actual main page. So if you make a change as the administrator, I'm not going to see this on my page now because I'm not using the same page as you. I'm using my own personalized page. That's where you've got to be careful of who you give the authority to actually make these sorts of changes. Generally, you could give one administrator per group, but if you do this for every end user, then all the pages are going to end up out of sync. So you need to be careful of who you authorize to do this and who you don't. Okay, but that's one of the problems on Portal, which is why sometimes it's better to actually use it on the Vistamart console. But again, the Vistamart console is probably going to be specified just for the administrators, and I'm sure the end users are not going to have access to the Vistamart console, which is why I'm saying the best way to actually use it is via the Vista portal, but you need to be aware that inheritances can be broken by doing that.
Okay, let's return to filtering. So another example. If we have some deleted cells and its downtime is aggregated, counted in the groups, and we don't want to see this downtime, don't want to aggregate in number of cells, in number of minutes of downtime, etc. What should we do? This is not grouping on the fly. Just we don't want to aggregate values of that instance on any level.
The aggregation is done at the Vistamart level. This is built into the system. You can't do that sort of filtering. That can't be done because this is actually part of the model where we're calculating the downtime. We're actually then using KPIs to do the grouping. The grouping is not done.
Yes, so how can we filter out such instances from that grouping? For us, it is filtering. Doesn't matter. Is it filtering from the groups or is it filtering from the on the fly or something? How can we remove them from the groupings, or I don't know, filter from VistaLink to say VistaLink don't discover them, on to put them in archive or something?
Well, as you say, we can remove them from the monitoring. We can delete the instance, archive the instance, and so on. The problem you've got here now is all the calculations have already been done. So whatever's in the RNC group, whatever's in the Node B group, has already taken this into account up until the point that you delete the instance, right? Or archive the instance or deactivate the instance.
Yes, I know that it is already done. For example, yesterday's values will include that cell, but for example, from today, I don't want to see it in any group.
Right.
What I have to do? I know that unstable state, it will keep the instance in unstable during 2 weeks, and then it will go to archive, etc.
Right.
How can we remove them immediately without waiting of that 2 weeks or something?
Right. You've got several options. Either you can remove the the relationships. So a lot of the relationships are done via the IDs and hold on, where's the EMS IDs? Where's the RNC gone here? Where's the actual TV RNCs? Right. These are all the members of TBRNT, for example. Okay, if you remove this guy from here, right, he's no longer going to be part of that group. So from now on, if I delete this guy, I'm not going to do it, but he will no longer be part of the calculations. So now he's completely dismissed from it. That would be the way to do it, but the problem is the next time you run a provisioning or a discovery, he's going to be re-added back into the group, right? Because this is all automated, this is all done on the back end. So by removing the instance, yes, okay, he's not going to be calculated for the next X time, but the next topology update, the next provisioning, if VistaLink is still picking up the stats because it's part of the PM and CM files, it's going to be re-added to the group and be made part of the member again.
It is clear, but what can we do in order to remove them permanently?
Well, you can actually archive the instance. That's one way you can do it, or delete the instance, but then it's going to be created as a new instance the next time. There's no way to actually...
No. If the instance is unstable, it means that it is no more available in topo files, in CM files.
Right.
Yes. It means that on next topology update, it will not reactivate it. It will be not reactivated.
Okay, well,
yes?
in that case, what you can do is you can archive the instance or you can delete the instance.
So, and in this case, this instance will be not, values of that instance, downtime or number of cells will be not taken into account in case of grouping on RNC level or any level.
Yeah, exactly, but only from the time you suspended it, the history is still maintained. So only from the time of deletion.
Okay, it is clear. So another way, as I know, we have possibility to say to VistaLink to not discover particular instances.
Right. There is a way for this as well, where we go to the VistaLink for Ericsson, for example.
I'm sorry, I have a question. What is the difference between archiving and deleting the instance?
Deleting the instance is removing it completely from the database. Archiving the instance, you can still recover it if you need to re-enable it.
Okay, that's all.
Or if you need historical data.
Exactly. So yeah, so the history is still maintained within the instance for the next couple of weeks until, hold on, where are we going? To the config. Until the actual lifetime is, sorry, not the lifetime, Okay, until this history, the data lifetime is expired, the instance will still remain in the database. So it will stay there for the next 14 days. If you put it into archive mode, if you put it into delete mode, it's wiped from the database completely straight away. That you can't recover it once that's done.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Now the other way that you wanted to show was on the Vista link for Ericsson. So if we open up, where is it? The where's the config man? Config email.config.sh. I'm not sure if I've set my display. We'll see in a second. Okay, we have set the display. Okay, so on this, you have a discovery. What is it? Filters. So here we've got filters. For example, here we've got the if any instance is called toy, it's not going to be added in. The patterns, as you say, expressions are repeated by a comma. So if I want to add in another one and I want to put dot star dnam dot star, then from now on the dnam instances will no longer be discovered if we've put this into the filter. Okay, I'm not going to save that for obvious reasons, but this is how we would do it on the actual topology filter. Okay, so from now on, even if the CM files, the PM files, and so on still have this instance available, VistaLink is going to say, okay, it's part of my criteria not to discover it. So from now on, we're going to ignore this.
Why are you placing dots before or after the name of the instance?
Because I put the dot star because it could have one DNAM 6 or something like this. So this is anything that contains the name DNAM. If the word is DNAM, then you can do it separate like this. Okay.
But the star is not enough?
Sorry?
The star is not enough?
It's dot star. That's XML structure. That's the regular expression method used for this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so
if we will say to VistaLink not discover particular instance, on VistaMart it will go to unstable,
yeah.
or it will be directly archived, or the main idea, if values of that instance should be included in the grouping or not.
No, it will no longer be part of the grouping. It will be archived, and from going forwards after the discovery is complete, it will no longer be part of the RNC group or the country, region, so on and so on. It will be excluded from this.
So if we will say to VistaLink filter that instances, so then it will be not included in any grouping.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Any other points you need to cover, or? Okay. I don't need to save that because that was just a demonstration, but that's the method. We've got the same thing on Ericsson as well. There's the same wizard. I'm not sure if you've seen it on Ericsson, but it's exactly the same as it is here. Where is it? Yeah. Where is it? Okay, and again on this one, we've got the same. In fact, we've got two filters set here. So if it's called test or toy, it's not being discovered. And again, you can add on more by adding a comma, dot star, keyword, dot star if it's a contains, and just a complete name if it is, if you know exactly what you want to filter out. And that's the same methodology as what's used on the Ericsson slide. Okay, so that can be done both. As I said, from Vistamart, you can delete an instance directly. This is generally, let's say, just not really done too much, but if it's a requirement, then it can be done like that. And then using the pages, you can actually do it on the reports as well, where you can actually limit the instance types you want to see or you don't want to see using the by selecting on the okay, that's my user anyway. So if by selecting on the criteria side, sorry, okay, it's a graph on demand here. Sorry. It's a graph on demand as well. All right, let me do one. It's not a graph on demand. I'll do it test. Okay, and on here as well, you can select all your criterias based on any of these properties, instances, and so on. Okay, as I said, this is best to be done by the administrator. So you three would be the best three people to maintain this. If it's needed to be done by a user, generally speaking, we don't give users admin privileges, and by not giving them admin privileges, like I had previously, it will actually break the inheritance between the main page and the customized page by the end user. So a group admin, you may give admin privileges to, or you may give, let's say, higher rights. But when it comes to end users, generally this is not what we end up doing. The other thing, as we saw with, in fact, we did this with Nelly yesterday, is you can actually change your security roles to say what privilege you want your user to have. If they've got obviously admin privileges, then they've got full access. If they've got developer, controller, author, they will be able to modify the page. A viewer will not have any rights to make any changes. An operator will be able to do things such as sending emails, scheduling, so on and so on, but they will not have the right to override pages either. So it's also what role you present to the user will give them the flexibility to do certain tasks. Okay, so
Okay, so can you show us filtering capabilities in Vista 360 for on example of some cell dashboard when we have a number of cells, for example, there, and we want quickly filter out one of them and quickly see only one.
HTTPS. Okay, again, this is also based on the privileges of the end user. But if we open a page that, let's say, has not too many instances, okay. Which one? don't want to the older ones. All right, 2G map RDA, that one will do. So 2G cell, for example, add that into my criteria. Dashboard is open. So here we also have the option of having the like, the not like, and so on. So if I do not like, what we can do this on Dean star again. We can save that. That one, let's save that. Update when open, automatically arrange links, remove instances. Okay, so now if I execute my search criteria, okay, we have to limit that stuff. Okay, so the instances, when they're displayed, will actually come up on here. So if you actually select and locate the instance, it's still actually refreshing, so we'll give it a second. But this will take you directly to the instance there. And as I say, once what we've done on the search filter, itself, that's still loading, is we've actually told it here, not like the Dynamo. Okay, so this is how we would remove them from here. I don't know if that's you wanted any more anything else on that, or this.
Can we use this go to field?
Which go to field? Sorry.
Close this one. You see here we have go to. What it means? How can we use it?
Okay. This is well, I'm not sure if this is actually working yet. I think this is an issue. We've actually already raised the case for this, but it doesn't seem to work on this map for whatever reason. Certain ones work, certain ones don't work. So I have to try and get the. I'll send you an email based on this one, because there was a specific way that you need to use this. I can't remember this one off the top of my head. I'll send you an email on how to use this tool at the moment. But I think it's TBDC.
So it works for geographical objects.
Yeah, this will only for the geographical maps. This will not work for the
instances.
No, hold on. If we save changes, no. If we create a different type of dashboard, for example, a list view, we call it a test for whatever, doesn't matter. 2G, I'll do. Okay, create that. Okay. See, the problem that we have on the list view, let's see, is that option doesn't actually turn up. Okay. That's only actually applicable to any instance to the map view. So that search is only on maps. Okay, it doesn't actually take you to the instance. It's actually based on the region. So whatever works on the map tool, when you use it, like you use it on the web, if you use the same criteria here, then it will also work. This is also dependent. I think we had a license issue. I can't remember if this was resolved or not. Where's the license? Yeah, it's dependent on the map API key. So you need to make sure that in your API key, you have the ability to do that. So when you actually defined, or when you actually purchased the key, or when you actually went to the URL to generate the key, it had to be there was a setting to actually ask it to enable the search options. This is not a standard thing by default. I can't remember if on this map API key you've got that flexibility. Once the map API key is has been enabled with the search option, then the search option will then also work in the map. It's part of the OpenStreetMap registration code. I think it was you who did that, Alexander. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who generated the key. I think it was your key, but this is where the registration needs to be applied, is on the actual API key. Once that's applied, then the search tool will then start to work. Without that, then it doesn't work at all. Okay. Where's my map? Test hand over 2G. Okay, and again on here we can also do the same sort of filtering as we did before. If we do 3G, for example, where's 3G? Okay, and then we can do, let's say, anything that's 300 we can take out. So by adding this guy in, and then we'll do this, and an instance name like 300 star. Let's get rid of that one. Save that. Update dashboard. And then we do the search, or apply the search. Oops, did I do it wrong? I did like, didn't I? Didn't do it. Not like, sorry. Not like. Save that. Okay, that. Hadn't finished the previous search. Basically, before I had only contained 300. Now I'm saying remove the 300, so it just needs to refresh itself. Reapply the search criteria. Come. Sorry. This goes to get 300. That's okay. That's okay. Save that. Let's go all the way to the top now because it's last time edited. Okay, so all the ones with 3000 are no longer part of this list. Okay, 300, not 3. Let's 3232 as well. It's different criteria, so that's fine. Okay, and that's basically how you do the search on this. Again, this is only the people that you give the correct rights to. If you're a viewer, you will not be able to make these changes. Only the people with a profile higher than viewer will be able to make this sort of change on their own dashboards. If it's a shared dashboard, then when you actually share the dashboards. So if I actually publish a dashboard to Yeah, okay, so if I display the dashboard, and I select it to these guys, if I do a link, I don't have full admin privileges, by the way. This is on my RDA user, but if I do a link, the user will not be able to make these configuration changes, only if you copy across the dashboard. Okay. Where's the admin guy gone? Okay, so if I copy all controllers, no, it's RDA, so I can do a copy now, not just the link. If I, as I said, the link gives you no right privileges. This is the administrator's page or the owner's page that you're sharing, but only sharing. If you copy it, then you're giving them full access to the page again.
Okay, I think it is clear with Vista 360, unless you don't have any question. No? Okay, so one more question then. If you can show us how can we search in VistaMart Inventory Manager maybe, or in console, how can we see a list of instances with the state, for example, unstable or archived?
Okay, there's two ways of doing this. If you know where the instance is coming from, is in you know which zone it's been updated to, you can actually do a select on the zone. You can expand the zone. When you look at the instances, you've got all the unstable instances, the archived instances, manually created. I don't expect there to be any, and new instances. Well, I guess there's not been any in the last few days, but this, by going through these zones, this actually gives you all of the criteria of the instances that are available. Okay. The other way we can also do this is not this one, this one. On the VistaMart console, if we go to the troubleshooting section, we go to the inventory. Let's reload. Okay. We go to the inventory, we select the zone. This then gives you the criteria of what's actually happened to each of the zones on each of the dates. Okay, so we can actually select, that's the top Vista, but we can actually specify by Vista name. We can specify, I don't think there's, everything's under the GeoCell zone as far as I'm aware. And then we can actually specify the Vista that we want. So if we select a 2G, we can see that there's actually not been any changes on here. But by selecting on the unstable, for example, sorry, oh, unselect the rest, should we say. Okay, if we then select on the 5034, this, go to all the vistas, selecting the 5034. This then shows us all of the instances created, the instances last discovered, and the queued jobs that have happened here. By clicking on, well, it's a bit small on my screen. I don't know if you can see that, but by clicking over it, you can actually see more details as to what's actually happened on the. So we can see the updated is 12, the added execution, and so on and so on.
And here, where is the list of instances which are in state unstable? The left hand table or right hand?
No, this will be on. I forgot to just get rid of this one. All right, we got full screen. All right, so the list of instances is actually available on the top section, not on the bottom section.
Yes.
It's on. It's on.
So
here.
which one? Bakriani Tower, I can see here, but is it it is like not deleted.
No, this is in an active state, right? These are the active state instances on this side, right? We've not deleted.
But we choose unstable, yes?
All right, so hold on, just double check. Where is it? Yeah, these all seem to be the active ones here.
So we choose unstable, yes, and then we have two lists. One is created on 24th and another one is last discovered on 24th.
Right.
So which one are in unstable status?
Yeah, it's not really very clear.
Because you see the state in both lists, the state is active again.
Instances state. So we've got active and archived here. Where's the instance states? Yeah, there's no deleted instances at the moment. I don't know if we go to archived. Okay, I'll try and get some more information for you in regards to this one because it doesn't seem to be too clear which one is actually unstable. Yeah, I'll get more information for you of how to actually get this, and then I can present that to you afterwards.
Okay. So I don't have questions. Maybe colleagues.
No, everything seems fine.
Okay. So anything else? That's it, or no? It's still downloading.
I think we can close this session. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll stop the recording now.